this shit?
Welcome back to the Three Amigos podcast. I am your host, Steffi Haynes, and joining me today for his second appearance on the show is the man most likely to break a leg while putting on his pants. He's got biceps the size of cantaloupes and quads the size of lima beans. I call him Matchsticks Malone, but you all know him as the most amazingly disproportionate cartoon character since Space Ghost, Mr. Tommy Toehold. Tommy, how the fuck are you?
Holy shit, that was an amazing intro. I'm doing fucking fantastic. UFC cards are changing so fast. By the time I get an episode done about a fight, it's been canceled, and my Star Wars episode has been so delayed, I think it just started a fight with CM Punk at UFC 300.
Tommy, what are your thoughts on this year's Reebok deal? Because, you know, we're on a short schedule here, so I want to make sure that we can pack in all of our content. So let's talk about Reebok and get this ball rolling.
I think that Reebok really dropped the ball this year. I mean, seriously, those misnamed shirts would have been a fucking gold mine. I would not buy a Gilbert Melendez fight kit. One, because I don't buy jerseys, and two, fight kit sounds like a bag you carry around in case a fight breaks out, so it would be filled with a vertical filming cell phone and a link to World Star's submission page. You know what I would buy, though? A fucking Gibler Mendoza shirt. I would wear the shit out of it. Actually, I think the UFC missed an opportunity by not having Bruce Buffer announce fighters as their Reebok names. Fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 955 pounds, from Oklahoma, Mexico, Jacare, The Big Show, North Sage.
Oh, that's good stuff, Tommy, and I couldn't agree more. I would like to see Reebok do something along those lines because we got to get a little levity in there because I'm tired of being mad at them. Now, moving on to my next topic. You started a podcast, and I have to congratulate you on that. How is that going?
It's going fucking awesome, other than the fact that every single fighter that has ever been in the UFC at any point in history has decided to start a podcast. What the fuck? I get into the market, and suddenly it's more saturated than a pair of panties after Elias Theodorou smiles. Just because you were a late-second replacement fight for a prelim on UFC Fight Night Zagreb doesn't mean you should start a fucking show where you talk about Captain America Civil War for 3 hours. Joe Rogan has turned the entire MMA world into podcasters and philosophers. The only one I really want is James Toney. I could listen to James Toney talk about MMA for hours. Actually, I can listen to James Toney talk about cupcakes for hours. Somebody get that motherfucker a show.
James Toney and cupcakes. There's a marriage made in heaven. I bet he doesn't miss too many cupcakes. So moving right along here. Have you thought about ever adopting any fighter hairstyles? I noticed that you keep your head shaved, but have you ever thought about letting it grow out so you could rock a fighter hairstyle?
Oh, absolutely. I think I would look great with a Vitor or a John Lineker. It seems like half the UFC roster went to the barbershop and just told the barber, put on a blindfold, fuck their shit up, and then quit halfway through. Boom, styled as fuck. Everybody wants to be Conor now with $6,000 haircuts and $20,000 suits. It's funny, GSP used to be the only fighter who rocked a suit. Now since Conor, everybody's getting crazier haircuts and tighter suits. By the time UFC 250 rolls around, fighters are going to be wearing painted on Daisy Dukes with fucking tree leaves woven into their hair.
I look forward to that. Next topic. Do you think we're ever going to see Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight?
I would say we have as good a chance as seeing Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey riding the teacups to Disney World together and then getting best friend tattoos. But the fight I really want to see is Deontay Wilder and Mighty Mouse. Fuck it. You know, if we're going to go nuts, let's go nuts. Best heavyweight boxer in the world, best flyweight MMA fighter. Sure, we'll have to do it in international waters, but let's Kumite the shit out of this shit. What's fucked up is even with a battle to the death against a person who outweighs him by 250 pounds, nobody would still buy that pay-per-view because Mighty Mouse is on. Apparently, fuck him and everything he stands for. Mighty Mouse could announce that he discovered the cure for AIDS, and he's gonna be providing it to everyone for free after the fight, and people would still be like, fuck off, Mighty Mouse, you're too small.
I couldn't agree more. Oh my goodness. Poor Mighty Mouse. He's the best pound for pound guy in the UFC. His fights are fantastic. He dominates like crazy, and he can't get a lick of airtime anywhere. Okay, so final question for you, Tommy. What would you say is the biggest story of the year?
Well, in a year with Conor McGregor making some of the biggest news the sport has ever seen, without a doubt, it is me getting picked up by DraftKings to do breakdowns and analysis. I mean, come on. Was there any doubt McGregor off UFC 200? Toehold working with DraftKings.com? It's not even fucking close. I checked the analytics. Tens of people are talking about this move. I don't want to get into too many details, but let's just say they set me up with a pretty fucking sweet deal. I've got a secluded cabin for me and Jessica Rabbit where the neighbors won't call the police every time we we get out the power tools. I mean, like, what the fuck? Have they never used a weed whacker in bed? Jesus, live a little. DraftKings also gave me my own exclusive show on DraftKings website called Looking for a Light. It's pretty fucking great. We run it about once a month, and it's just a 30-minute continuous shot of me trying to put a light bulb in without being able to move a single part of my body. It's getting great reviews.
Oh my goodness. Tommy, I can't wait to see that. I just gotta tell you, I can't wait to see that show. You're gonna have to let us know the first time you put one of those up. I haven't seen any of them yet. You don't have them up yet, right?
Yeah, they'll be up soon, next week probably.
I'll be looking forward to it. I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I want to give you an opportunity here. Tell everybody where to find you. Tell everybody what kind of content you have going on. I know you have like 42 different shows, podcasts. You've got so much stuff going on. I can't even keep track. So why don't you take a minute or two here and tell everybody all about it.
Thank you so much for having me on, Crook. You are fucking awesome. Check out all my stupid shit daily at youtube.com/TommyToehold, at Tommy Toehold on Twitter. You can listen to Bushido Talk every Wednesday and Sunday after fights on iTunes or SoundCloud. And be sure to look for Looking for a Light coming next week. Now, if you'll excuse me, Jessica Rabbit and I have a date with a lawnmower, 2 pounds of unsalted butter, and a painting of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.